three or four field goals.
Yeah. So, Mahomes has got 2 5-touchdown games. I think he has a 4-touchdown game this season. A couple of 3-touchdown games. He had a no touchdown game, which that was at the height of the, I guess, personnel issues. And then when he was left alone and able to play his game the way he plays it, you're seeing vintage Mahomes right now.
I think, man, I agree with you. I think what we're seeing now is Mahomes is playing lights out. But what kind of amazed me, man, is Josh Gordon got a touchdown. It was crazy. They were like everyone got a touchdown today for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just wonderful to see because we saw Josh Gordon. Everybody was like, well, I don't know what Josh Gordon can do. I mean, I heard people on the radio saying, well, he basically Kelvin Benjamin, this, that, and the third. You know who you are because I remember listening to you guys.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking, I'm like, well, maybe he can do something, hopefully. And this game was perfect because it allowed him to get a touchdown, but it also allowed for him to get more plays, and he got to be more familiar with the offense. That was a key. That was the key. Because of that, he got another catch. Another pass that went his way was incomplete, but you saw Mahomes was looking for him. Mahomes was looking for him. So we know Josh Gordon can play.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, let's see what else he can do. Because obviously he can play, and that's one thing we know.
Well, he leveled a guy today too.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody saw that, but I don't know how many people did, but he put somebody on their back today. And, again, this kind of goes to prove what we talked about on the last show and the show before, is that if this would have happened when EB was calling every play for those 4 weeks, if Josh would have been more involved in the system, today would have been 3 weeks ago. Okay. Today would have been, and if you understand what I'm saying, today's performance would have been 3 weeks ago. He would have been catching balls. He'd probably already had a couple of touchdowns. He probably would have been more acclimated to the offense. And I think moving forward, and look, if anybody out there still sleeping on him, you better wake the freak up. Because on Josh Gordon, because when the playoffs come, this dude is going to be he's going to be such a dynamic player and such a huge part of our playoff run.
Can he be better than Sammy Watkins?
I think he can be, because he's not injury prone.
He's not.
And he's stronger. He's got great hands. He's fast. When his yards after the catch, when he's in football mode, are probably second to none. If you ever watched any of his past,
I've seen some stuff. He plays crazy. He really pops off the screen.
Yeah.
He runs routes to perfection. He's a deep threat. That's kind of one thing that's going to be crazy, because be like, okay, here's one thing. If you send Tyreek Hill and him both deep, who are they going to go after?
Exactly.
And we're starting to see, okay, maybe the Chiefs aren't going to run the ball, but they're going to throw down to the flat. I mean, they're going to find extensions of what to do. And also, Hardman got involved to an extent to where it's like, okay,
that's another thing that we got to bring up.
He should have been, that's how he should be involved. He had a phenomenal catch to open everything up, a 43-yard catch in the first quarter. Yep. Once I saw that and the offense scored, I was like, I think we're going to have a good day.
Yeah.
Because they were literally playing like nobody's business out there. Everyone has wanted to trash Hardman. He asked to put out a question the other day asking about, do you guys know where I can get the controllers? Someone said, shouldn't you be working on routes? And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. But from this point, when it shows, people obviously understand. Hardman is a very, very, very good player.
He really is.
He needs to be used in a position like he was today.
Yeah.
Short passes, maybe he can get the long, but he's more of that gadget guy that Tyreek Hill was in his first career. Honestly, they should put Hardman in the backfield and let him take some snaps at the running back position or run out. There's a couple plays you've probably seen this year, JP, where Cooper Kupp is in the same position, and literally he goes against a linebacker and they can't cover him, and he scores a touchdown. What? They should be doing that with Hardman. This guy just proved it. You can't
it's
guard
so funny.
everybody.
They completely forgot that Tyreek Hill wasn't the best route runner. He wasn't the best wide receiver when he came into this league. People forgot about that. he wasn't the greatest.
And worked.
Exactly. It takes time. It took him 2-3 years to get to the position that he was just phenomenal. And that's what Hardman's doing. He may not be picking it up as quickly, but you also have to remember that he did it during the Alex Smith era when there wasn't as many wide receivers, and he was the only guy that could go out there and be able to, besides Kelsey, of course. So he was one of the only guys out there that Alex was throwing the ball to. So he had to learn it. And there was plenty of drops. There was plenty of times he made mistakes. I guess, but a lot of these fans that trash Hardman weren't here when Tyreek came into the league.
They weren't. Tyreek Hill could only do so much. And yeah, Tyreek Hill has literally grinded every single year. The year before he had that big breakout game. Well, the year before, basically they went on a tear with Mahomes' first year. I got to meet Tyreek Hill. And this man was dunking from the free throw line and stuff. I mean, he was just a crazy guy. And he's like a little bit taller than me. It just shows how much of a dominant player he is and how much he works day in and day out.
I mean, he's not a big guy. He's only 5'10".
But he plays like he's 6'3".
Exactly.
He plays like he's 6'3". That's the crazy thing.
Yeah. So, and Hardman had 2 phenomenal catches today. He played lights out. There's a guy on Twitter that has been running his mouth about Hardman. I even had somebody say, well, I guess he's out of the doghouse. Look, he wasn't in the doghouse. What they do, just so everybody understands, offensively, they rotate players in and out so they can get acclimated if they're not doing so well. They don't put them, quote unquote, in the doghouse offensively. They get them coached up, and by the right coaches, the guys that should be coaching them up, and they get them back out on the field. They get their mindset right. They get their motivation back. They put them in positions to succeed, not to fail. Mm-hmm. And that's what they've done with Hardman. He's not a bad player. He's not what everybody's made him out to be. And I'm sure there's time. He needs time. And I bet you there's 99% of those big outlets out there deleted half their tweets, if not all of their tweets, because of the last few games he's played. He's had some great catches. One play last week, he had a phenomenal catch. He had a great run. Everybody has to realize that they're not coaches, and they're not on the field. Or GMs or players. These guys are watching a screen and thinking they can go out there and do it. It's just impossible. Okay. I mean, I'm not trying to trash every fan out there because I'm not, but you guys have got to give these guys a break. I mean, seriously, Anthony Hitchens has a right to be mad. Tyrann Mathieu they all had a right to be mad. Cause you're like these literally, I don't think anyone understands the math on this, but I think it's like, was it 7% of all football players like right now actually make it to the league? It's great. Like a really small, something like maybe even less, but only a small percentage actually make the league. So you can have those 5-star recruits out of high school. Some of them don't make the league. Yeah. I mean, I've seen it so many different times going through different videos, looking at all these great stars and stuff. Looking at these guys now that are going to be going in the draft, some of them may not do much in the next year or two. When I'm doing my evaluation for, okay, who should the Chiefs get? So literally these guys, if you make it to the league, you're good. Now, I know we could talk about Phillip Gaines and all that stuff. Look, it is what it is. We're not going to talk about that. He obviously, in this situation, he wasn't getting the proper coaching. And, I mean, I don't know. I mean, in that situation, it's like he doesn't suck. He just doesn't work in the scheme. So, and that's also, you got to realize, too, there's also different scenarios when it comes to that as well. There are certain players out there, and I've seen this happen numerous times, where players, they get paid and then they fall off. They decide that they just don't want to put the effort in anymore. McCall Hardman's not that person. He's put the effort in. And he hasn't been paid per se. It's not like he's gotten some fat ass contract. He's still on his rookie contract, and he's not making, hundreds of millions of dollars. He's not making $48 million. He's not making anywhere near that. There's been players out there that have gotten past their rookie contract. They got a contract, and then they fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them did it during their rookie contract because they felt like, a couple $1 million was huge to them. They didn't think that, they thought that was going to last forever because they
You
came
have
from
to
nothing.
keep grinding. You have to keep grinding. That's
You
one
do.
thing.
You do.
You have to keep grinding no matter how good you get.
Exactly. Somebody can come out of college as a star athlete and fall flat on their butt because they got a paycheck and thought
Mm-hmm.
that was going to be the end all to their life's problems. And it's not. Believe me, it's not. So there's so many different scenarios that come into why a player may not work with one system or work with another or may not work at all. But it's not because they're bad at what they do or they wouldn't even be in this league. I mean, it's that simple. They can't make it to that elite level. When you make it to the NFL, the Major League Baseball, the NBA, you're an elite player, period. You're elite from that point on. You're an elite player to make it to that point. Then when you get in the NFL or the NBA and you become that 40-point guy a game, in the NBA, or you become that, 30 home run guy, or, the 50 touchdown guy, or, the 1,000-yard receiving 4 straight years in a row, whatever the case may be, then you become the elite of the elite.
Tyreek Hill has now had 4 seasons with 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on a whole nother level.
And what's this? This is his 6th season, right?
I think so.
Yeah, 6th season. He came in 15, so this is his 6th season. So, you got to realize that there's so many different variables that come along with this. But regardless, moving forward, off of that subject, we are on another planet right now.
We are.
All of our players are living in a world of, I guess, happiness. They are loving what they're doing. They're loving the accolades they're getting. They love the positivity. They love the fact that right now they're ranked single digits. When you're ranked single digits, coming from dead last, that is something that is, number one, it's very difficult to do. You, as a group, to come in dead last in every category, as we were, and then to end up being single digits in 5 of those 7 categories, you are absolutely on cloud 9 and you're doing something right. I mean, it just is what it is. And a lot of it's motivation. A lot of it is timing. A lot of it is gelling. A lot of it's coaching. But they are mentally on a different level. Willie Gay was dancing with the wolf.
I know. I saw that. They were literally they were dancing. It was crazy. I was like, I mean,
I looked over, I saw the wolf in the end zone dance. I turn around, look at Willie Gay, and he's dancing with him. He's just jamming along. I'm like, hell yes, this is what you want to see. You want to see these guys just happy. And that's what you see. I mean, all around happiness. Travis looks like, to me, that he's frustrated a little bit, but he's frustrated. I think he's frustrated. It's carrying, and I think that's something he's going to have to work on a little bit. He's got a little bit of frustration carrying over from prior weeks that he had no control over. He's also a little frustrated with the injury that he dealt with. And he gets frustrated with himself.
It seems like he's still going out there and trying his best and blocking. That's one thing.
And that's something he's doing. Yeah. I mean,
he's still out there contributing any way he can.
He is, but
it's not an I attitude. It's a we attitude. And that's one thing that this team has always done is this is a we attitude. We are a team.
Exactly. He just gets frustrated, I think, a little more with himself than he does with anything else. He wants to be what he is, and that is the best in the league. And if he makes a mistake, or if there is a mistake made, whether it be a call on the field or something that he doesn't do exactly right, it frustrates him. So I understand that. I mean, when you're competitive and you are as good as he